Hey everybody, welcome back to the Maniac. I am here with another video today, red bottom acrylic set that I did on myself. This is a really fun design, so I'm just going to go through and show you what I did. So I just started by shaping my nails with the file, and then I am going to push back the cuticles and get ready to prep my nail. I did speed this up so the video wouldn't be 100 years long. So hopefully you guys can follow along. So I'm just real gently pushing back the cuticle with my spoon pusher. And then I'm going to go ahead and get my crosscut diamond bit from Young Nails. And on a really low speed on my e-file, I'm going about 3000 RPM here. I'm just going to go ahead and clean up around the edges, make sure all of that dry, dead cuticle that's stuck to my nail is gone. I don't generally rough up the surface of my nail much anymore, only the part that's grown out. I happen to have very thin, weak nails and they peel. They've always been like that. So I have to be really careful that I'm not over filing my nails. So I basically just do the growth part. If I see anything that looks super shiny or oily, I'll go ahead and do a quick run over top of it. Like you can see there at the edge, I had a little bit of a piece peeling off, so I went ahead and took care of that. I'll just rely basically on the product and the protein bond that I'm going to use to help bond that to my nail. So here you can see I'm using my cuticle ball and just kind of going around real quickly and cleaning up my cuticles. They're not too bad. I do keep them up, but they do get kind of dry, especially now from washing my hands over and over, and I'm using hand sanitizer like constantly. So for any of you that are having issues with your nails, that could possibly be what's going on. So once that's all done, I'm going to go ahead and clean up my nails with some Young Nails Swipe on a clean manicure brush. I'm going to push that down in one direction only to pull all of that dust and debris out of the side walls and all the area of my nails. I'm going to go ahead and go in with a couple coats of Young Nails Protein Bond. This is a fantastic bonder and I always use it. It works really, really well. So I'm just going to go through with one coat on all 5 nails. If I was doing a client, I would do all 10 nails. And then I'm going to go ahead and circle back and do a second coat, which I don't show you here, but I put 2 coats. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and put a clear base down. So I'm just using some Young Nails Speed Clear. And this is just a very, very thin layer. And I know I've mentioned this before in previous videos, but the reason I do this is because when I file off my product to go ahead and do a redesign or something like that, I want to be able to just file down to the clear base and know that I have that buffer between that and the natural nail. Additionally, with this set, because I am using the red acrylic for the bottom of the nail, so basically you'll see me build the free edge with a red acrylic, and that's going to give that red bottom look. And this will also help that from staining my natural nail. So I find it a really important part of doing any set. I always put down a thin clear base, just to keep kind of, like I said, that buffer in case I have to file off. If people are using glitters and things like that, I want to be really careful I'm not going all the way down to the natural nail. So I'm going to go ahead and form up all my lovely fingers now. These are Magpie Beauty Fab Fit forms. I love them. I have extended hyponychium under my nails. I know I've mentioned it before if you watch my videos, which just means the underneath part of skin of my nail kind of grows out with my nail a little bit, and it can be really painful to put on a regular form because of the shape. I would normally have to kind of trim it and cut out a section for me to fit my nail in there. And these forms eliminate that. So I use these on any clients that have problems or issues or weird shapes or anything like that. So I've got all of my forms on now, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how I lay the red bottom for the nails. So basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to build the free edge in red acrylic. So normally I would build the free edge with whatever color I'm using if I'm going to do a clear set. or if I'm going to use like a cover color, a cover pink or something like that, I would go ahead and build the free edge before I put the rest of the acrylic on to build the actual nail. And this kind of helps set a guide for me so that I know what my shape is. And when I do go to put down that acrylic, it's already got kind of a base layer there. So you can see I'm just shaping that free edge right now, and you can see it is going up onto my nail a little bit, and that is okay. I don't mind that. I just want to make sure that it is nice and secure to the free edge of my natural nail, so that we don't have any issues with it later. And then I'm just kind of refining the shape and making sure it looks the way I want it to, again, because if, for example, I was using tips, this would kind of be the same thing. So instead of putting on a tip, I use forms and I build that free edge first, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the acrylic over. You can see when I build the free edge, I walk it up to the sides, kind of push it into place, and then I tap across over the top with my brush, and that will pat everything into place. So I went ahead and finished all 5 fingers, and I'm going to go ahead and build the rest of the nail in a cover pink. I chose the cover pink on purpose because I'm hoping to cover up that red. Some of these nails will be painted black, but I am going to do the tortoiseshell design on 2 of them. So I want to make sure that that red is not showing through. So that's why I didn't use like a speed clear or something like that. I went ahead and used a cover pink. Just set that down at the cuticle and pop it into place. And then I'm just lightly pulling down on that, just the end, so the bulk of the acrylic stays in that stress area where I need it. Cleaning up those sides. And then I'm going to go ahead and get another bead and drain a little bit out because I don't want it to run all over the place. And I'm sorry about this angle. I basically turn my brush around and pull up the nail just to give it a nice smooth transition into that bead that I already put on there. There's really no way for me to do that on camera without getting my hand in the way, so I'm sorry about that. But that's what I was doing. I just basically turned my hand around and pulled it up, and then as it sets, I can kind of, again, use the body of my brush, and I'm just pressing across the top gently, just to kind of pat it into place. And then any spots that need extra, this doesn't always happen, but particularly with this design, because I'm trying to cover up that red. Again, like I don't want that red to show except on the bottom. So I'm very meticulously showing here that I took the time to add little extra teeny tiny beads in the places that needed it, just to make sure that the coverage was good. All right, so I'm just gonna go in and do the same thing on the second nail. And I think I only left 2 nails in the video. It's basically all the same, but I wanted to show you at least 2 so you can see I did the same thing. I took my bead of acrylic. I do pause for a few seconds before I put that bead up to the cuticle area, because I do want it to kind of start setting so it doesn't run too quickly. You do want it to run so, again, it gets down to that stress area point where I pulled it forward just from the front, and then I'm able to add that second bead and pat that across the top and get it all into shape. And have the nail the way I want it. So just cleaning up that free edge. I try and clean up as much as I can. Here you can see I have a little bit of space where I need some more product. So I'm going to go ahead and grab what I need, which is just a little bit, not too much. And I'm going to again go backwards. That's a little better angle. Figured out if I kind of did it backwards. It didn't go on as smoothly as it does when I do it the other way, but you could see this time. So I turn my brush around and pull that up to blend into the bead that was on there already. And now I'm just patting that across the top so that I can fill in. I'm trying the best that I can to keep that upper arch in form. So I've got a nice apex at the stress area, and then it comes down thin at the tip. In as much as is possible, that just saves me from having to file a ton, but no worries because you can file it into shape afterward. So once those have dried, then I can pop off the forms. So you can see the red bottoms there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and start my normal filing routine. So I'm going to go ahead and first file the lower arch. So I'm going to line the form or the file, sorry, up with the lowest part of that lower arch that I have, because it's almost never perfect when I do it. I'm sure there are people out there who can get it perfect. I'm not one of them. And then I just file up until it is straight with my growth channel. So you want that to be straight. This is actually the key to getting your nails, one of the keys anyway, I should say, to getting your nails to look nice and narrow and not too bulky. A lot of the time, if it looks bulky, even though you've filed it, it sometimes is because that lower arch is hanging down too low. So again, I'm doing, this is the side wall, so I'm just starting holding that flat at my side wall and lining everything up even. And then I'm going to go ahead and file my free edge and start to get my shape the way that I want it. Originally, I think I had planned on doing just kind of a tapered square, and then I ended up filing a little more because I really wanted a little bit more of a ballerina shape. So you'll see me here kind of turn my hand around, and this is what we call the client view, right? Because from this angle, I can see what it looks like to me. But when I turn my hand the other way, how I just had it, I can see it how the client will be looking at it, right? Because when you're looking at your own nails, you're holding your hand out in front of you, not back the other way. So here I'm just going to go ahead and take my e-file and I'm going around the cuticle area just to make sure that that is nice and seamless. I want to make sure that there's no ledge there so that later on as it grows out, there's not any lifting. So here I'm just pulling through. You can see the upper arch looked good pretty much when I started. Yeah, so that's the filing there. You can see I went ahead and did those tortoiseshell nails. I am sorry I cannot show this to you, but you can find the class. These are the 5 nails I learned in that class. The tortoiseshell was just one of them at Dime Nails on Instagram. She has great online classes she hosts every couple of weeks, inexpensive to join, and lots of really great art techniques. The fun thing about them is that not only will you learn those designs, but the techniques themselves are transferable. I just went through real quickly and put one layer of protein bond over top of the enhancement, and that just helps to make sure that that gel polish adheres perfectly and doesn't chip. And then I'm going to go ahead and put on, I'm using Madam Glam Perfect Black. This is a fantastic black. So with darker colors, you want to make sure you do very thin coats. Darker colors obviously have more pigment in them and they take more time to cure. Here you can see I've got that all done. I've got my tortoiseshell matte black and I put some rose gold Swarovski kissed crystals on there. I didn't show you all the pieces because I wanted to keep it short, but here's what they ended up looking like. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to follow me and subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications and come find me on Instagram. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.